So, David, what did you think of that then? The face-off, the weights, everything.
They both looked in great shape. I was surprised that they were as heavy as the scales suggested, because they both looked so physically toned. They've obviously put on good quality lean muscle, and they haven't been eating the junk food, so they both look lean and strong, and they both looked as good as they've ever looked.
Do you think in this fight, is it the last case scenario for someone or anyone in this fight? Joyce is 37 years old.
Joyce is 37, so
can he still come back?
So strangely, you would think he was the veteran.
Yeah.
He's the younger 14-fight prospect who hasn't delved into this elite world level yet. So I definitely feel a loss at this stage will be a big setback for him. And where else has he got to go? If he does lose this fight, where does Joyce go? You know, because he's so awkward. He's such a tough fight for anybody. He's not going to be the guy that people pick to fight. You fight Joe if you have to.
That's what we said.
He's not the guy. You know, nobody voluntarily wants to fight someone with Joe's chin, with Joe's relentlessness, with his stamina. He's like the nightmare opponent for anybody.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't get the victory, he's going to find it very hard to re-establish himself and get another opportunity like this for a final eliminator for the big one.
So it looks like AJ and Fury is almost done. There's a lot of rumours about a massive fight. How does the winner of this fight do against Usyk if that fight can be made?
It depends on how the fight goes. If Joe Parker somehow miraculously knocks Joe Joyce out in 2 rounds, you'd forgive him a very good chance against Usyk because of the punch power. You know, if Joe Joyce does a demolition job on Parker, who's very slick, got good head movement, you'd say, okay, both of those guys will have, if the performance is world class in victory, they'll have a shot. They'll have a shot against someone who isn't the biggest. You know, Usyk, super skillful, skills for days, angles, punch variety, experience, amateur pro. He ticks all the boxes. Just doesn't have that physical stature and that size, and doesn't seem to have that one punch power to really steady the big guys. He can pepper you, he can stun you, but he's not the guy to get the big guys out and knocked out. And I think to beat someone like a Parker or a Joyce, you really have to, over 12 rounds, maybe you could do over 5 or 3 rounds in the amateurs, but in the heavyweight division, as a professional, you need 12 rounds of firepower to keep the big man at bay.
David, put you on the spot. Prediction.
I think it's going to be a knockout. It sounds crazy. I can see it happening both ways, and the way I see it happening for Joyce getting the stoppage victory, it's just his sheer relentlessness. I can see a version of this fight where Parker lets his biggest bombs go. It turns into a slugfest. It turns rough and tough and pushing and pulling, and it turns into a cardio game. Who's got the biggest cardio? And it's hard to go against Joyce's cardio, so I can see him grinding him down and just bludgeon him in 11th, 12th round, something like that. Or on the flip side, I can see Parker, because of his amateur pedigree, because of he's a former world champion, because he puts combinations together quite well, 2-3 punch combinations, bam, 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 all crisp, all sharp. Maybe not the biggest knockout punches, but they're strong and hard enough to stun Joyce. I don't think you can knock Joe Joyce out on the floor for 10 seconds, but you can stun him on his feet. And if you stun him on his feet and hit him with 3 or 4 or 5 shots combinations, a referee can jump in and stop that fight. So instead of getting a standing count as you would in the amateurs, you get a standing stoppage. So I can see Parker stopping Joyce, and I can see Joyce grind him down. It's one of those 50-50 fights where I don't know which way it's going to go.
That's exactly what we were saying.
It's very, very, very rare you get a fight.
I've changed my mind so many times, and I really don't have a definitive answer as to who wins this fight.
Because you can make a real solid argument for both fighters.
Yeah.
And, you know, the unknown is there with Joyce. He hasn't fought at this level before. You know, we know what happens when Parker's fought AJ. The referee was disgusting in that fight. Really, really didn't allow him to get going in that fight. Didn't let that middle range, close range action flow. So we don't really know how he would have performed against Anthony Joshua if it had a referee who just let the action flow. And then even against Dillian Whyte, where he lost the fight in that 12th round, he was able to come back and show what champions do and try and turn the tables. And after being decked heavily twice himself, one with a headbutt, one with a massive left hook, he was able to put White down that last round and really push him down that straight. So the credentials are there for Parker, proven at world level. It's unknown with Joe Joyce at the moment. Can he beat someone of the caliber of Parker. It's unknown. And it's tough. It's very, very tough.
If you have a pound, to put on one of them,
I'd always go on whoever get the best odds. So the most unlikely,
Parker. Then I think Parker's
Parker's the most unlikely for a stoppage. I would go Parker. If I had £1 to bet on it and I wanted the most amount of money back, I'd go for the underdog, Parker, by stoppage on his feet, stopping Joyce's feet. If I was had to do that.
That says a lot about your predictions, David.
That's
the method.
It does.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure,
I appreciate it.
No
Enjoy tomorrow night.
No problem.
Legend. Thank you very much.